The saber is one of the traditional weapons typical of the Dayak tribe, which is famous for having extraordinary and deadly magical powers. The main source of YouTube channel quotes https://youtube.com/@Tvterdo. These are indigenous Dayak figures from Borneo, and the commander-in-chief is visible and the commander-in-chief is not visible. Why not? Weapons made of meteorite stones often cause admiration and concern for enemies when facing this flying weapon. What is the story like and its strengths? See the following Tvterdo review. History of Flying Mandau. The Dayak tribe is indeed known as an expert in warfare. They fought other nations who came to Borneo Island, including the Malays and the Austronesian peoples, by playing this Mandau. The frequency of wars that often occur between the Dayak tribes and their enemies makes this Sword of Mandau so famous that other nations do not dare to enter their area. The sharpness of this blade is used on several occasions to decapitate enemies, the Dayak tribe's headhunt custom. Mandau itself comes from the origin of the word man, one of the tribes in southern China, and dao, which means machete in Chinese. Until now, Mandau has become the name of a traditional weapon native to the Dayak tribe. The magical power behind the flying Mandau. In ancient times, when there was war, the Dayak tribe generally used their distinctive weapon, the saber. Mandau is an heirloom that has been used for generations by the Dayak tribe and is considered a sacred object. Dayak Bahau traditional leader, G. Simon Devung, explained that every part of the Dayak tribe has people who can use the flying saber. This knowledge is passed down from generation to generation. Furthermore, Simon said that this knowledge called flying Mandau actually does not mean the flying Mandau weapon, but the invisible Mandau user. There are two types of flying Mandau. Both have different strength levels. The first is knowledge that comes from human power. People who have flying saber skills can seem to disappear, so that the saber looks like it is flying. While the second is at a higher level, namely the saber is used by the jinn people or invisible creatures. The genie is a friend of the human who owns the saber. To acquire the knowledge of flying sabers using the help of the jinn nation, an ascetic ritual must be performed. But this knowledge can also be passed down directly from the ancestors. For the Dayak people, the most sacred and powerful Mandau is the one made by Pangli Masempung and Pangli Mabungai. Both are considered as the two highest skilled masters in making saber. Characteristics of saber weapons. The Mandau consists of two parts, namely the blade and the sheath, which is called a kumpang. The blade of the Mandau is shaped like a tal, which the Dayak people consider a sacred bird. Meanwhile, kumpang is made of wood covered with deer antlers. Tvterdo's quote, that the saber with the best quality is called meteorite stone saber. The indigenous Dayak people believe that the meteorite stone is believed to have come from the ancestors of the Dayak people who live in heaven. Although the Badu saber has a relatively light weight, this knife is very solid and sharp. Its solidity and extraordinary sharpness make it possible to cut an iron spike in two in one stroke without leaving a mark on the knife. There are several distinct characteristics of the Mandau from various Dayak people groups such as the Manyan Dayak, Mbalan Dayak, Bahau Dayak, and Naju Dayak. The average length of a saber blade is around 50 to 70 centimeters, and has a sharp edge. Usually the width of the saber is about 4.5 centimeters at the widest part of the blade, and 3.5 centimeters at the smallest part. The function of the saber for the Dayak tribe Mandau is an heirloom that has been used for generations by the Dayak tribe and is considered a sacred object. Besides being used during war, the Dayak tribe also usually uses the Mandau to accompany them in carrying out their daily activities, such as slicing or cutting meat, plants, or other objects that need to be cut. Furthermore, around 1943–1945, Mandau was also used to deal with Dutch and Japanese people who came to Borneo. How are you, Tvterdoi friends? Are you amazed by the greatness of this Mandau weapon? Or do you have traditional weapons in your area? Please comment in the column below.